Did you think becoming a great basketball player would be easy? I did. I trained like a madman for years, and finally, as a junior in high school, I scored 410 points in a single season. But man, it was a grind. So to help you make the most of your basketball journey, here are 10 things I learned that will help you become a great basketball player without all the hassle. Lesson 1. For the first 7 years of my basketball journey, I trained hard and had nothing to show for it. I was stuck on the bench and I was told, Mark, just give it up. But I kept pushing. So lesson number 1 is to give yourself time. You need to understand the compounding effect. See, let's compare success to a line graph. When you strive for success, this line is going to be flat for a lot longer than you thought it would be. But suddenly, everything clicks, and that compounding effect kicks in, and the trajectory of your basketball journey shoots to the moon. You just have to be patient. Lesson number 2. All throughout high school, I didn't hang out with anyone outside of school unless it was basketball related. And I felt lonely at times, but I always reminded myself of what I was doing it all for. And when the success in my basketball career came, I knew it was all worth it. So lesson number 2 is, if you have a big enough why, you can surmount any how. Basketball hurts, man. See, I've been embarrassed. I've been blocked into the third row. I broke my shoulder in my senior year of high school, and I don't recommend that. That wasn't very fun. But at the end of the day, I was able to go through all of that because my why was stronger than the how. In order to be successful in basketball and in life, you need to strive for something bigger than you. The reason is, when the storm comes, you will want to endure. Because if it was just about you didn't strive for anything bigger, you're gonna give up when the going gets tough because you want to protect yourself from pain. But if you allow that pain, if you push through any obstacle because what you want is on the other side of that pain, you are unstoppable. Nobody can stop you. And that's how you truly become successful. Lesson number 3. Growing up, I always envisioned what my life would be like once I became a great basketball player. But once I got there, I realized, nothing changes. When I got to the point of receiving recognition from other people and being asked for advice, being shown on Instagram pages for being the top player in my area and all that, my problems didn't go away. I was still Mark Holman. This idea I had in my mind was not realistic. You thought being the MVP of your team would make you happy. But once you get it, you start thinking bigger. That's nothing. I gotta be the best player in my conference. We gotta win a championship. I haven't done anything yet. Now here's something I learned that some of you may not believe because, I didn't believe it. I actually had more fun chasing the destination than actually reaching it. And that old phrase of, it's not about the destination, it's the journey, I always made fun of it. But I see there's some truth to it. And you look back at all the pain and suffering you went through, and you realize, oh wow, that was actually a fun ride. If I could say one thing to my younger self, it would be, stop worrying so much about the end goal and focus on now. Jesus Christ was right when he said, "Therefore do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble." Lesson number 4. I was called crazy for my obsession. And where I'm from, working on your game for 30 plus hours a week wasn't exactly the norm. But I had to get used to being different. in order to achieve the success that I wanted. So lesson number 4 is, in order to be exceptional, you must be the exception. Now, if you are okay with being the exception, check out the workout programs and the training journal on my website so you can separate yourself from everybody else on the court. The link is in the description. Lesson number 5. When I was given my one opportunity towards the end of my sophomore season, I was nervous. When coach drew up that play for me, my teammates looked at me with this pain of feeling like, we already lost. But I had so much training under my belt that I had evidence as to why I should be confident. And I went out there and I hit the game-winning shot. So lesson number 5 is, in order to earn your confidence, you must prepare. Lesson number 6. In middle school, I had low self-confidence. I doubted myself, and I had a victim mindset. Straight up. But once I changed how I talked about myself, my reality started to shift. So lesson number 6 is be, do, have. To achieve success in basketball and in life, you must be the type of person who is successful, do what you need to do to be successful, and then, and only then, you will have the success. So this is a biblical principle laid out in Genesis. And by the way, no, you don't have to be a Christian to apply this. This is a success principle for life. It goes as follows. And God blessed them. And God said to them, watch this, be fruitful and do multiply and fill the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. This is the natural order of the world. Most people try to have success first, but it doesn't work that way. You've got to learn how to have success by doing, and you need to become the type of person who keeps it. Lesson number 7. When I was younger, I got cut from teams, rode the bench, and got ignored. But I learned from every single failure. And eventually, I was recognized as one of the best players in my entire area. So lesson number 7 is fail your way to success, because failure is a necessity. Stop shying away from failure. Seriously, fail as much as you can. Failure is possibly the greatest teacher we have. And get this ingrained in your mind right now. Literally, remind yourself of this every day. Write it on your wall if you have to. Winners lose 10 times more than losers. The only difference is losers quit when they're posed with failure. Lesson number 8. I expected the best of myself. And if I ever fell short, which happened a lot, I would take away basic needs like food and water. And the reason why I did this was in order to right my wrongs. But over the years, it ruined my mental state and even my performance. Thankfully, as I got older, I stopped doing this. But lesson number 8 is do not punish yourself. You already know what you did wrong or you could have done better. Recognize it and let it go. Please. Lesson number 9. During high school, I had very little free time to work with. So I tried working out before school started. But the problem was, my body just doesn't perform well in the mornings. And I would fall asleep in class. So I started training late at night and I improved so much faster. So lesson number 9 is to figure out what works best for your body. Everybody's got their own routine that works for them. You don't have to train like Kobe Bryant at 4 a.m. You could train the same amount of hours in a day as Kobe did by starting later and ending later. There is no set in stone schedule that you have to follow. Now with YouTube, for example, I use what I learned as a basketball player. So I am perfectly fine with staying up until 4 in the morning finishing videos. That's how I work best. And guys, right now I'm recording this. It is 1:13 a.m. Lesson number 10. All throughout my basketball career, I thought everyone was working harder than me, and I believed I'm just not working hard enough. But after becoming a trainer and a mentor for other players, I realized 99% of basketball players don't work nearly as hard as you think. So lesson number 10 is never overestimate your competition and never underestimate yourself. I love thinking back to Rocky 4 when one of the rounds ended and Rocky's coach, was fixing him up in the corner and he said, See, you cut him. He's not a machine. He's a man. Oftentimes we worry about our own flaws so much that we forget we're going up against players that are also not perfect. Stop holding yourself to this perfect standard because you'll never be able to reach it. Just play the game and improve over time. Now, even though all of these lessons I just told you are incredibly powerful, if you don't know how to study the game of basketball, you won't get very far. So watch this video next where I'll show you how to study basketball film so you can get an edge on everybody else. But as always, keep God first. Stay blessed, bro. Love y'all, boys.